It arrived at 11:37 p.m., a text message. "We're restructuring. We're keeping your bonus and your client," my manager, Elias, wrote. I read the words again. Not a call, not an email, a text. A clean, clinical severance of 10 years of my life, signed off with a lie. Restructuring. I didn't blink. I felt the familiar, cold pressure behind my eyes, the complete absence of panic. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. I typed a single, non-committal word. Sure. Then I locked the screen and placed the phone face down. The storm wasn't brewing. It was already here, fully formed, silent, and moving with controlled, glacial speed. Elias hadn't just stolen my livelihood, he'd exposed a fundamental, fatal weakness in his own strategy, his belief that I was disposable. He'd fired the architect, but he'd forgotten I'd personally laid the foundation, the legal, financial, and relational architecture of every single one of his retained accounts. Specifically, the $80 million renewal for Omnicorp, my client, signed by one person, Mr. Alastair Finch, a man who only dealt with me. Elias had made his move. Now it was my turn. The timeline was simple. The emergency board meeting was tomorrow at 9 a.m. I had exactly 9 hours. 9 hours to make sure Elias's victory would be the ruin of everything he touched. I walked to the safe, not rushing. Inside, the laminated, signed document. Not a contract, not yet. Just a single-page letter pre-signed by Mr. Finch, explicitly delegating sole contract authority to me and me alone, under a specific pre-agreed trigger clause. The next morning, the air in the boardroom was thick, quiet with anticipation and the smell of fear. Elias, in his tailored suit, looked confident, like a vulture that had just consumed its meal. He met my eye for a moment, a tiny, almost imperceptible smirk. I gave him nothing, just a nod of detached acknowledgement. The CEO, Mr. Harrison, cleared his throat. "Elias has assured us the transition with Omnicorp will be seamless. Samantha, we wish you well." My lawyer, David, stood up slowly. He didn't look at me or Elias. He looked only at Mr. Harrison. In his hands, he held the letter I'd given him 30 minutes prior. "Before we discuss the transition, I've been asked to read this letter aloud," David said, his voice flat. Elias's smirk vanished. His gaze flickered toward me, confusion replacing triumph. David read the sentence aloud. "Our $80 million renewal is frozen, pending immediate review by the contract's sole signatory, effective upon termination of my exclusive account manager." The sound of silence in the room was deafening. Every eye snapped from the letter to Elias. Mr. Harrison's voice, dangerously low, cut through the shock. "Who did you fire, Elias?" Elias stammered, his facade finally shattering. She was a distraction. I was consolidating. I was ensuring the stability of the—" I stood up. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I spoke only to David. "The pre-existing contract clause means that until Mr. Finch redelegates authority, no one but I can finalize the Omnicorp renewal. And since I am no longer with the firm, the $80 million is, as the letter states, frozen." I had not just been fired, I had been released to enact the contingency plan. Elias sank into his chair, pale, watching the boardroom doors open behind me. I didn't look back to see the security escort him out. I walked past Mr. Harrison, whose expression was a perfectly balanced mask of rage and desperate calculation. I hadn't lost my bonus. I'd become the cost of his company's survival. Stepping into the cool morning air, the only thing I felt was the quiet finality of a perfectly executed equation. No rage, no relief, only control. Elias had tried to take a piece of me, and, in doing so, had handed me the keys to his entire world. He was ruined. I was free. The $80 million wasn't frozen. It was waiting for my next call.